All right, good to go.
All right. We're up live on the YouTube as well.
Yes, we are.
Excellent, thank you. All right, well, seeing that we're at 5:40, let's go ahead and call this meeting to order at 5:40 p.m. First, item of business is confirmation of a quorum. I can confirm that we do indeed have a quorum. So let's go ahead and move on to the adoption of the agenda. Do we have any proposed amendments to the agenda tonight? Oh, can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
I'll motion. I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is approval of the summarized minutes of the December 17th, 2025 regular meeting.
Danielle and I were not at the last meeting. Just where it said staff in attendance. We weren't there in December. Well, that's right, you were.
Good eye.
Under the committee reports, November only has 30 days.
There you go.
What was that again? Sorry.
On the, see where it says November 31st?
Yes. Got it.
Very good eye. And we've had a chance to review them. We have a motion to approve the summarized minutes of the December 17th, 2025 regular meeting as amended this evening.
I wasn't here, but I didn't know if I can motion.
You can make the motion and you can abstain if you would like to.
I'll motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Yeah.
The motion still carries. All right, let's go ahead and move into public comments. I did not receive any communications from any public wishing to speak tonight. I assume nobody else did either. And I don't see any public here.
Nor online.
And none online?
Correct.
Excellent. All right, well then let's go ahead and move into comments from council members. Do we have any comments from council members? Well, I'll just say Happy New Year to you all. Look forward to another productive year, productive 2026, which is already going faster than it should. All right, then let's go ahead and move into the head administrator's report.
Okay.
Fabian is getting that pulled up, so. This month we did, lose some students. It's not unusual. We typically see that in January as people make changes over the holidays. So, we are currently at 340 students. And Fabian, if you want to scroll on down, there's the breakdown of the, of what that looks like in terms of, we didn't have, bring in any new students. We only had students, who, went to do different things. We had students, who moved out of state, students who switched to homeschool, students who switched to online school. So we're still seeing that happening, quite a bit. So, that's, it was what, I think 9 students this month, so it was quite a bit, which
That's
is
a large
really
amount.
concerning. Yeah. I was actually thinking about, if I remember correctly, when we were in our building in Old Town, before we moved up here, we were like at 330 students. Just to kind of put that in perspective of kind of where we're sitting at right now. And I have seen, nationally, there's been recent reports about how trends are, where they're still seeing a lot of, students not in schools, that there's still these big gaps in across schools of student enrollment. And I think the most recent thing I saw was from the state of New Mexico about, there's like still 5,000 kids that they're like unaccounted for. Yeah. That's a lot. So,
Just not being in school.
Or
not
like they
really.
don't know where they
Where
live. They came out of COVID, they couldn't track down these kids. I mean, this has been going on since 2020.
yeah. It's a lot. Yeah. So, but something that we're concerned about, right? Because it'll affect budget, it affects our ability to be able to pay for our facilities, because now facilities reimbursement is based on student enrollment, not square footage. So, it's definitely concerning.
How about enrollment trends, February, March, April, May? Do you ever tend to see new students enroll?
Every once in a while, especially if a student's struggling in another school and things aren't going well, then we might see people shopping around, to look for something. As every once in a while, we'll, see parents who want an opening so bad at like middle school, and they want to make sure their kid gets a spot for middle school, but they're willing to bring them in fifth grade. To finish out their fifth grade year, so they can secure the spot. So we do see that happen, but it's not a lot.
No, I have not.
No.
Well, I mean, I guess it's good that we started, tracking data at this level to help us in kind of seeing things going forward.
All right, yeah, if you're gonna scroll down, the next section is on building and playground improvement. So they did, come in, and install the new playground equipment is fully installed on the north playground. All the turf was actually finished this morning. So it looks really, really nice. We were able to open all of that up to the kiddos. The bathrooms are partially finished. They ran out of, RFP. They were here over the winter break, ran out of the material, which is called, RFP. They have to, order additional material and then come back and finish that up. And then we're still waiting on the permit from the city of Albuquerque, and that's causing a delay in everything else. So the signs, the kitchen construction, and I didn't put it there, it's also causing a delay in the shade structures for the both playgrounds and the balcony. So we'll see what happens with all of that, as we head into the next month. I mean, I know that the company is working on it. We also still don't have the electricity to the gates as well, because that's all part of that permit.
I was gonna ask, I saw the gate controllers hanging on the gates, but not active.
Right. So they're doing what they can right now.
Yeah, and they need the permitting to even run the electricity to the gate.
All right, so charter school updates. There's actually 2 big pieces of news up there. So Matt Paul is no longer with Public Charter Schools of New Mexico. Yes. I know, right? So that happened in December. He made the announcement at the conference. at the winter conference, and his last official day, I think, was last week. So they are looking for a new director. In the meantime, Valerie Ratcliffe, who is part of PCS and NELM, has stepped in as interim director. And Joseph Escobedo resigned from APS. And that happened, we found out the day we got back from winter break. And APS, they held a meeting and they said that they are currently looking to fill the position. They've put out surveys to charter leaders to ask like their input in terms of like, what are you, what the kinds of qualities and what's important to you for this position. Patricia Espinosa, who is the special education liaison that we've worked with for years, she is temporarily serving as the lead for the charter schools team until the position's filled. So I'm not sure what happened with either of those things, but big changes for charter schools, right? Especially for APS authorized charter schools.
This is a fair number of us.
Yes,
Wow.
yeah. So, things that are coming up, January 23rd, which is this Friday, we have a school day for our middle school, and they're doing their National History Day and Future City Project presentations. And they also have their dance, which they get so excited for, and they're so nervous, or some are like, I'm not going to the dance, and others like wanna like dress like it's their senior prom, so it's really fun. The 24th, which is Saturday, is the school choice fair at Expo New Mexico, and we do have a team who's working on a booth for our school, and they're gonna have the student work set up and a team of teachers who'll be talking with families. February 11th will be our 120th day reporting day, and then the 16th is President's Day, so in the school. Any questions or comments for me?
Sorry, Christy, I have a question.
Yes.
I know at Mark, they don't have a low income thing. And so they donate dresses or shoes or pants or suits or anything for the dances. Do you guys need anything like that?
You know what, I hadn't even thought about that, that's
I mean, I
probably, yeah, I mean, and yeah, we've just never, it's never really come up. And I think it's because for our kids, so many of them are either like, I'm not going because I would rather go play games in this other room or watch a movie.
Yeah.
So they always offer, because not all the middle school kids like to participate. So they offer other rooms with other activities for the kids who don't want to actually go to the dance.
Oh.
And
okay.
so I don't know if kids are making that choice because they're concerned that they may not have appropriate things to wear or because they really don't want to go.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but I could certainly put it out to the teachers to see if they know of any students with a need.
okay.
Yeah, it's something to really think about. Thank you.
So I do have a question. Patricia Espinosa, was she on the panel that helped authorize, that we met with for authorization?
She was. Yeah, you mean when they came for the visit that day?
Yes.
She was here, yes, she is part of that little charter school team.
I don't remember which one she was.
She's, gosh, how do I even describe her?
She has a gray in her hair, not a gray.
Yeah,
I didn't.
kind of salt and pepper
Salt
hair,
and pepper hair.
curly.
Yeah, I think I heard it. Huh. Okay.
Yeah, she's great.
Yeah, I think she was very complimentary of her school and, yeah. Good. Oh, you should. You know people.
Mhm.
All right. Thank you for that, and let's go ahead and move into reports from invited guests. Do you have anything from the foundation?
Yes, the foundation submitted the capital outlay request. They also have submitted a request for an extension on the allocation for the acoustical work. Just in case, we're not sure if we're going to need it, but we wanted to put that in just in case. The company who's doing all of our other construction, they are having a hard time as well finding subcontractors who can work on that. So we did a request an extension, so hopefully that comes through in case we need it. And our last foundation meeting last week, we just talked about, we're gonna do some. Getting some documents in place to, reach out to legislators to say, hey, hi, here we are, please consider, allocating some funds our way.
All right. And I think last time we were talking about having one of us alternate one of the foundation meetings. Did you just say one was last week?
Yeah, and that was.
Uh,
That was my fault, I didn't, because I forgot to reach out to Dominic, but it was a really, I don't know that I could have gotten anybody in because we were having a really hard time with the days and we had to change days and we weren't sure if there was gonna be a meeting and we were on and waiting to see if we could get a quorum, so. Yeah, and then it ended up being a really short meeting because of just the circumstances of everybody.
Oh, perfect.
When is the next meeting?
It's not currently scheduled.
Okay.
But will you volunteer to be the guy?
I will.
You're your man.
But
Thank you.
I looked at the notes yesterday, it's like, I'm supposed to be there on January 5th. It didn't happen on the 5th.
You didn't miss anything.
Sorry, that was like the first Tuesday of the month or something like that? Or did it just really?
It really varied.
All right, well then, our next item of business, we're gonna go ahead and move into council committee reports. And we'll do finance, facilities, and HR. Veronica.
Okay, the finance committee met tonight. We reviewed and discussed the December 2025 financials. This always includes the bank statement, the bank register. We review large dollar transactions, which are typically payments over 5,000. But if there are high dollars and they're a new vendor or a different vendor, we always talk about those ones also. We also reviewed the December budget expense summaries. We talked about a few journal entries that were needed. And then we do have one bar tonight. When we're looking at the register, did everybody get a chance to look at it? There was one voided item that was kind of high dollar. In a couple of transactions later, you could see that it's a positive and a negative number there.
Is that the
Yeah.
49,157?
Yes, so I know our eyeballs usually tend to go to those ones, so it was just a void. And then everything else was pretty typical stuff, whether it's our additional services, for students or food. I think the other one that stood out to me was the a legal bill that we paid that we were all aware of. So nothing really stood out to me, but if there's anything that you have questions about, then I'm sure Laura will be able to enlighten us.
We'll be able to talk a little more about the legal bill later in executive session.
If there are not any questions about the register, we can look at the budget report. Nothing really exciting.
Except for lease assistance, it's
Oh,
at
that's
50% already.
Right on.
Some people consider that exciting.
That is exciting to see, numbers line up, when they're supposed to, we're halfway through the year, so.
Yeah, and we just got the award last month, but I billed for it already. And that's where you're seeing the 50%. I did like the whole shift over from what we spent in HB 33 over to this fund. And then the other one that says 100% Title II, we're working on spending it down. We actually paid out the first half of stipends, which is usually what that goes towards, just this month. So that's why you're not seeing any changes there, but we're on track for spending.
All right, before we move into bars, can we have a motion to approve the budget report?
So moved. I'll second.
Is there any additional discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
This is bar. Yeah, there's like up the top, 0019-I. This is for our activities fund. So we get revenues in throughout the year for different activities. A big one is Staff Spirit that tends to contribute to this. And a lot of times we have to evaluate, did we receive revenue beyond what we budgeted for, which we always only budget what we actually have. And so I need to true it up essentially. I need to make sure that the revenues we do have available matches the budget. So right now our revenues are exceeding about $5,165. So I need the budget to match, so that way it's available for spending.
Perfect. If we like to approve increases, for sure. All right, do we have a motion to approve, bar 19-I?
I'll second.
Any additional questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Let's move on to nominating council professional development committees.
I do not have a report on that. I do not anticipate that I'm gonna get, an updated report from the PED on the courses that have been taken, no one has reported to me that they've done anything in the last month.
Halfway through my canvas training.
Very excited about that. And I'm hoping I'll get another list of classes that are being held in the next several months, but that has not come through yet, so. And as far as nominating committee, I'm still looking for people. As always, I'm asking you, if you know anyone who might be interested, please let me know. It's been a little difficult.
All right, then the next item is policy committee.
Right. I don't have a report on that. I don't have any new policy to look at. At this point, I apologize. I just haven't gotten around to reviewing anything that might need some tweaking, at this point. Jennifer did such a good job that there's really hardly anything except these two new items. As you'll see, audio or video recording, prohibitions and exceptions, and the student electronic devices, which have been postponed now for several months, waiting for consultation with council. And I don't know, Krista, do you have any updates on when she might be able to, review this?
No, I don't have any updates on it right
Okay.
now.
I can tell you, we've got council pretty busy right now with other matters that we'll be
Right,
talking about.
that's
later.
what I
So
figured.
we're trying to prioritize our council usage. All right, well then, anything else?
Nope.
All right, let's go ahead and move into strategic planning committee. Yes.
No report this month. My business is gonna be covered later in the agenda in new business.
Perfect. All right. Academic committee, Mr. Anderson is probably in some exotic locale. We'll wait to hear about his travels and the academic committee upon his return. All right, state of the school event committee, Veronica.
And I've been done on this one. I just today started trying to organize and get people's schedules so that we can meet via Zoom. And so, I'm hearing back from people, so hopefully by the next time we meet, we'll have already met some solid ideas, especially hearing the information coming out of the head administrator report. And, there's different activities that are going on, so if we can partner with those things, so. No real report other than I am making progress on getting us together.
Excellent. All right, well then let's go ahead and move into old business. Discussing charter renewal, charter school contract performance framework. I think we're probably kind of in the same boat with this one as far as hearing from council on that. And I think, yeah, we have council business. We'll talk about further on in the agenda. All right, well, let's move into new business. And review and approval of changes and updates to the AKCS strategic plan. Fabian, take it away.
Thank you. All right, so this is a decisional topic. I'm bringing forward what we looked at in some regard last month in terms of just looking but not for decisions. And so what we have here today are 3 changes to the currently approved strategic plan. I'll talk through those high level and then we can look at them one by one and then go from there to decision. So the first 2 I'll group together, which is making the changes to the vision statement and mission statement to what we looked at this last fall and we're good with. So it's just deleting the language that was there before and adding the new language. So those 2 to start with. The next 3 changes are changes to status of some of our strategies. So first in goal 1, first strategy on that, the investigation and reauthorization options in order to ensure preservation of mission values. When we met as a committee, we asked for this to be called complete. So that's the first one of those. The second one is related to the mission, vision, and charter itself, and any changes that we needed to make there, including getting stakeholder feedback. The wonderful work that Christy and crew did on that. And so going along with the changes above, calling this one complete as well. And I have one more, which is the requirements of SB 137, the streaming meetings, maintaining meeting recordings, which we've been doing for a while. And my ask here is this is to call this complete as it has become operational for us. So those are the 3 things: change to mission, vision, and calling the 3 particular strategies complete.
What was the previous strategy before the SB 137? What was the
So goal 1, strategy 2,
strategy? Okay.
or I guess probably B. Second one under that. So
Thank
you
you.
good? Cool.
That's exactly what I was looking for.
Perfect.
So that was it.
All right, well. And we have a motion to approve the changes and the updates to the AKCS strategic plan, 5-year strategic plan that was last instituted in April 2025 and revised effective this evening.
Have to ask Sally's team.
Good eye.
So moved.
Right. And a second?
I'll second.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, I will save this as is with the clean version as well and send that over to you, Christy.
Okay, sounds great.
So I just remembered something and it doesn't apply tonight, but I want you guys to all help remind me in the future. I think you learned at the last training that if we ever have a single person online, I have to do roll call for everybody, right?
Yep.
So like tonight, we're good because everybody's in person, but if you guys can always help remind me of that, we have somebody of training level. Okay, then our next item of new business, 10B, is discussion and action on the 2026-2027 calendar.
So Fabian, I just sent it to you at the beginning of this meeting because I realized I forgot to do that earlier with my report. So if you wouldn't mind pulling up your email. And while you're doing that, I can talk, I can fill space, I guess. So, we are, we are looking at the calendar for next school year. We were asked, by AKCS over the winter break to get an approved calendar to them by January 16th. And my response was, well, it's winter break and our next board meeting is the 21st, so we'll do our best. But the reason that happened is because, the state of New Mexico has purchased, a statewide student information system, which is really, really, really exciting because, that means that all schools in the state will be using the same information system. So we'll have access to, IEPs, we'll have access to, any kind of intervention data, anything on students when they, as soon as we roll them and as soon as we enroll them. So but it's a phase-in system.
And
So.
maybe we won't lose students now? Do you think that'll help keep track of those missing 10,000 students?
That'd be great, that'd be great. So AKCS, because they are the largest school district in the state, is in the first phase of this. And because we are an APS charter who currently utilizes the same student information system as APS, we are also having to be in the first phase of this. So we're in process of transition with that too. It's a lot, quite honestly. But so originally the plan is that we were gonna be on our own for calendars because we're in transition phases right now, so that as a school, Alice King will be on this statewide student information system, effective next school year. So originally APS said, you're gonna handle your own calendars. Well, then I don't know what happened, but they came back and said, no, we need your calendar. So they're still having to do some kind of setup on their end. Somehow we're gonna still be tied to them right now. That is gonna impact their system if they don't have our information. So that's why we had to put together a calendar. So I pulled together a calendar committee over the last couple of weeks. It is almost identical to the current year calendar. We didn't make any significant changes other than November 11th. And what we want to do with November 11th, because that has been a no school day for students, because we do have military families. And so we want to make sure that we are, honoring that. The staff has voted to make that a conference day. So staff wants to work to utilize the day, so that they want to do conferences in the morning and then professional development in the afternoon, so that families who want to come in for conferences on that day have that as an option. So it was a way to try to squeeze in an extra day so that we didn't have to start even earlier or go later. So it's just a way to kind of maximize the time that was there. I think that was the only real significant change. Yeah,
Is it just near this?
you know what, I,
2025-26 calendar, I'm like, well, I can envision what next year's will look like by just shifting everything over a day.
yes, it is very, very, very similar.
And what we're approving is the 26-27 calendar, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not what this is.
Uh-oh. I sent you the wrong one?
Oh.
Sorry.
It's
Switch to the real ones here.
See it.
I was
So if we
like,
just switch something, that's way earlier than this one.
No, we're usually around December or January. All right, sorry, Fabian, let me get you the real one. I thought it looked kind of funny up there to me, but I couldn't figure out why. I sincerely apologize.
It was so small, I was trying to look for it, and I'm like, I can't see it. Okay, so I'm just going back to the last time I remember approving the calendar, and that was when we were going through the whole hullabaloo with the state. And
Versus 5 days.
and they told us, hey, you gotta get us your calendars for this, and this is, so when did they try to implement that rule? I guess it was to become effective like January. No, it was effective in July.
Right, Fabian, I sent it.
Yeah,
Are you thinking about like when that was and we were looking
Yeah,
at like
well, we-
4 different calendar
Yeah.
options? And was that 2 years ago?
yeah, I guess it was huge.
Yeah, that was a lot. That was crazy. It was actually it's very, very quick to put the calendars together this time around. So there was no rule changes, there's no statute changes, nothing that we had to look at differently.
And no concerns having to change our start time, transportation, none of that kind of stuff.
No, we left everything as is because we know it's working right now. We still have the issue with transportation with AKCS in terms of, the morning transportation, we still don't have that, and I don't know that that's gonna change, but, you know, that's, unless we significantly change our day and go to a 5-day school week, I don't think we're gonna be able to overcome that.
Oh.
All right, this is the right calendar. There we go. So now you can see the November 11th in there. That looks right now. And the one thing that we did decide on with this calendar is to extend our school day by 1 minute. And the reason for that is our current school day is 8:30 to 3:52, and that gives us enough time built in so that if there is a 2-hour delay, because remember, if there's a 2-hour delay, if school's canceled, we have to make up every hour. That even a 2-hour delay, we have to figure out where we're gonna put that 2 hours in. Right now, with our current school day, elementary has enough time to not have to make up the 2-hour delay, but middle school doesn't. Well, that's a logistical nightmare, so everybody just is gonna have to make it up. So what we decided to do was build in 1 minute to the calendar each day next year so that we have time built in to where if there is a 2-hour delay, we don't have to make it up.
So you get 2 extra hours.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Cool. And nobody misses the minute.
Right,
I mean, some of the kids might.
yeah.
Some of the kids might be like, what, 1 more minute?
1 minute. And so Fabian, I think on that one, let me go through with you all just kind of some calculations, because we did go through and just make sure that everything was correct. So it's very, very tiny at the bottom there, and I don't know if it carried over onto a second page because I did it very quickly. Yeah, it's very tiny. So this is where we were just calculating to make sure that we had enough hours built into the calendar and how it all worked out. So we just added the calculations directly onto here. Because this also will help Laura when she builds the calendar for budget purposes, because it's all laid out for elementary versus middle school. How many hours per day we're looking at, if it's a full day versus a half day, how many days per year, how many total hours that comes out to. We have to take professional work into consideration. So with elementary, we have to be at, for both elementary and middle school, we have to be at 1,140 hours, but of those hours for elementary school, 60 hours can be professional work. For middle school, only 30 hours can be professional work. So what it comes out to is we need 1,080 hours for elementary and 1,110 hours for middle school. So all of those calculations are just to make sure that we have it correct. And then I even, I put in notes that we have, both elementary and middle school hours are over 1,140 and allow for inclement weather delay. So that it shows the overage there at the very bottom. So right now, with this time change, we will be 4 hours over at elementary and 2 hours over at middle school.
You round up, it looks like.
I did round that one up, 1.82 is 2, because is that how it will work in your, when you do it, Laura? I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because it's, I'm pretty sure it rounds up.
Do you have room for 1 weather delay?
1 weather delay.
Oh.
So you're hoping we don't get snow here in the next couple days.
Well, we're already saying it's 2 hours delayed, and we've already had in December for this year. Yeah. It's not, but it's better than none.
And then what happens? Let's say we had 2 more bad weather days, then we literally have to
To make
go
it a
add a
full
day. Yeah, we have to tack a day on somewhere.
Can they do like personal makeup days or not really?
Well, we're really not set up for it anymore,
Oh.
especially with the littles.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we could look at it as an option, but it would be a little bit more work, I
Yeah.
think, to do it.
Yeah.
Alright. Anything else we need to know?
I think those are the big, really the big changes. We made sure we still kept the same number of school days as we currently have, the same number of professional development days. Took election day off because that's required in statute. And then our spring break and winter break follow APS.
What do you do this in Excel?
Google Sheets.
All right, one part of your template.
I didn't build it. My teachers built it several years ago.
I built a lot of, probably in my days, and this one's better formatted than anyone I built. All right, well. Can I have a motion to approve the 2026-2027 academic calendar?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, our next item of business would have been the discussion distribution of the AKCS head administrator mid-year evaluation. I absolved Christie of having to do that. As you guys will hear later on, we have a lot to discuss, and she's been very, very busy with that other item. So what I think I'm gonna propose for this one is to do like we did, I think years ago, where we just do that in executive session at the next meeting and just essentially talk with her. That way we're not asking her to do, having to put that together, given the other demands on her calendar right now. And then we'll have the written version will come at the end of the year. So, if everybody's okay with it, my suggestion would be at the February meeting, we do an executive session discussion about it. Everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Yeah,
Excellent. All right, well then, with that, I think we're done with our new business and can go ahead and move into discussion of limited personnel matters pursuant to NMSA 1978 10-15-1H.
Good to see you.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that. Okay.
My friend. All right, good to see everyone.
All right, we'll see you later.